A bit of a black spot area here. I'm following you, Victor.
I thought it was today, then I'm like, I'm coming down.
Gonna let her walk through, then we're gonna sit on the bench.
We're checking out a few different places here. It is, Grace? Yeah. A few of our Mornington Yacht Club there. Piers. There we go. Do you mind? Hello again. You okay now? Is it good to be away from the doggies? Oh, yeah, you okay? Do you mind pressing? Oh, sorry.
Hey, Chris.
How are you? G'day, mate. How are you?
Good. How's it going?
Good. You come to join, did you?
What are you doing? I walked by your thing.
Oh.
What is your little event? What is that?
Right now. So I'm currently live streaming.
Oh, you're live streaming.
Yeah, how
right
you been?
on.
How
How's
you
it
been?
going?
Yeah, good.
Right.
You've been well, so
Yeah, everything's cruising.
you should mention our connection.
You were
with,
probably
with Kosovo.
That's right.
Yeah.
Indeed. Well,
So I used to work.
I worked years before you did.
Yeah.
In this place called Kosovo, which
Yep.
many of your viewers might not know. It's a small little province aspiring to become a country in southeastern Europe. Used to be part of the former Yugoslavia. I worked there right after the war, the NATO bombing campaign, which ended after 81 days, was it? 79 days? Something like that. And then I set up an institution there for the UN. And then I went back to where I was living in Geneva. And then 8 years later,
Yeah.
you showed up.
Yeah, so I used to work as an international lawyer through the United Nations at a place called the Kosovo Property Agency.
Absolutely.
So I was living in Pristina in Kosovo between 2010 to 2012, dealing with about 43,000 claims
That's
for property
right. That's right.
for people who lost possession of their homes, farms, businesses because of the war.
Yeah.
And so our role was to basically we wrote the judgments for
Yeah.
the cases to determine the rightful owner of the property and to help them to either return to the property, sell it or rent it out. And we used to present about 800 cases at a time before an international commission or international tribunal every 2 months or so. So there's a lot of claims, but after many
Absolutely.
conflicts there are sometimes not property restitution.
Unfortunately,
things in
that's
place.
that's the norm.
And we're lucky here to have a good cadastral system, a property
Absolutely.
system. So, and coincidentally, obviously back then I wasn't living in the Mornington Electorate when I was in Kosovo.
Absolutely. Neither was
but then neither was Scott. But we met here, and it turns out he's one of my constituents, the guy who set up
is
the
right.
predecessor
That
of the
is
Kosovo Property Agency in my electorate here.
I know. We just found out about it accidentally. It was
So it's
absolutely
really
hilarious.
really weird coincidence. So-
Incredible.
Anyway,
What are the odds? The odds are so slim.
And you're also a coastal advocate as well, and
All the
part of
way.
occasionally part of my coastal erosion
Yes.
awareness group, and that's part of it today is not just about bowel cancer awareness, it's also about raising awareness and show off our beautiful coastline, but also
I know.
look at some of the erosion and other issues from
Absolutely.
I guess from the top
That's-
down with
that's-
drainage, but also from the
that's one
bottom
of
up
the
from
big
the
spots
sea.
right
So
there. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
absolutely.
it's Shire Hall
Very
Beach in
much
particular.
so.
You can definitely see
all the way.
the sand that's gone away from there and deposited at this end.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Yeah.
You knew I was here, or was this like just
No, I
coincidental
absolutely.
timing?
No, I've just dropped my lovely daughter
Oh.
off at Pilates and
Oh, okay.
took a little walk around.
There we
like
go.
I always do, and then there you were. And I was in the park just for a second running
Yes.
intervals, you know.
Yeah, and that was the Housing and Property Directorate you set up in Kosovo, wasn't it? The predecessor?
right.
Yes.
HPD, yeah,
Of-
Housing and Property
predecessor.
Directorate.
And we used to refer to their cases as part of the Kosovo Property Agency.
Yeah, and I
when
designed I designed a whole bunch of these, like
Yes.
maybe 10 or 12 all
Yes.
around the world in post-conflict countries,
Yep.
Sri Lanka and Albania and Republic of Georgia and a
Yep.
whole range of other
Yep.
East Timor, but only a few were actually set up in the
Yeah,
end,
yeah,
you know, because
yeah, yeah.
the political dimensions of housing, land, and property are so huge.
That's
You
right,
know, it sounds
that's right.
so nice and easy when you do it from afar, but when you get in there and you realize,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
that
yeah.
guy has a claim
Yeah.
on the same piece of land as that guy.
Well, you
does,
can
and
get
that
one
guy
person
does.
claiming for property. You can also get 9 people claiming for a
That's the
property.
problem.
And if
Yeah.
you don't have a proper cadastral system, it's not necessarily a person
know.
who's on the title who is the current owner. And
Correct.
we were referring back to contracts that were established under the Ottoman Empire in the early 1900s. If you had a
Absolutely.
farmer who's inherited it through the family,
Absolutely.
that could be the only document they presented. So.
And you know, one of the
Yep.
one of the main property cadastre books, it was
Yep.
literally a book. It wasn't a computer database.
Yes,
It was
yes.
a book. Luckily, when Serbia was really going crazy against the Kosovar Albanian population who wanted independence, and they were afraid of what was going to happen, one of the forward-looking people actually took the book and hid it in his house.
Oh, okay, okay.
And we recovered it with him like a couple days into the UN administration there.
Yes, yes.
And could use that
INRIC.
to actually determine who owned the properties. Otherwise, what often happens during conflict is that the bad guys essentially take the property books,
Yep.
fully change them and manipulate them and transfer
That's right.
and
That's
transfer
right.
properties
Yep.
into their own hands.
Yes,
With,
yes.
with no money changing hands and no voluntary exchange. And they end up holding millions of dollars worth of property
That's
that
right,
they got
that's right.
illegitimately. And
Yeah,
that's why we
yeah.
need these restitution
And
procedures.
actually a lot of the people we were, I guess, working with to restitute their property were actually Kosovo Serbs, because
Absolutely,
a lot of
yeah.
Kosovo Albanians were able to move back or utilize the property,
Yeah.
but a lot of Kosovo Serbs weren't. So they were probably 80 to 85% of the claims came from
absolutely.
Kosovo Serbs. But you also got the areas that were more majority Serb. You have Kosovo Albanian claims as well, but it was definitely the majority were Kosovo Serb claims.
Yeah, and that was, not necessarily the driving force behind the design of that
Yep.
institution, because
Yes.
during the war, over 1 million
Yep.
Kosovar Albanians were ethnically cleansed from their homes,
Yes,
effectively.
yes.
And there was no expectation that they would be going back in the short term. And then all of a sudden, things changed overnight. NATO invaded, NATO
Yep,
bombed,
yep.
the Serbs withdrew, and then the Kosovar Albanians were able to return pretty much easily into their own homes. But then they started committing reverse ethnic cleansing and kicking the Serbs out because they were so peeved at what the Serbs did. And it goes, and that's happened time and time again in the world, right? You have one side pushes one side out, the other side wins in the end, they come back, push the other guys out. And that's the unfortunate reality of conflict and why we need to prevent conflict in the first place.
That's right.
Because
Yep.
fixing it afterwards is 1,000 times more difficult
Exactly.
than preventing the harm in the first place.
But if you don't have
know?
that private property restitution process, if people can't move on after a conflict and re-establish themselves and businesses
Yeah.
and farms and everything else, so it shows how lucky we have a good title system here. Well, reasonably good title. There are still
There's
problems
still
sometimes, but
outstanding issues.
there
here,
are
of
issues. I'm
course.
quite aware of a few
Yes.
locally as a MP, but
Yes, I know, I know.
But yeah, there are quite a few issues there. But this is why we needed international lawyers and the Kosovo Property Agency as well, that we
Yeah.
ensured that every case was worked on by a local lawyer.
Right.
And we worked in Albanian, Serbian and English with
Absolutely.
all cases. You need a local lawyer and an international lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the final sign-off as international lawyers to ensure that it doesn't matter if you're Kosovo Serb, Kosovo Albanian or Turk or other background,
That's
that you
right.
would restore your property rights
and
irrespective of
That's right. And I
real
remember,
background, if you're the proper owner. So,
when I designed
Yep,
it
yep.
for the UN, we had intense negotiations about who the judges would be,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And in an ideal
and there
world,
were 2 international and one
right.
local.
That's
Yeah,
what we
yeah,
ended
yeah.
up
Yes,
with.
yeah,
But
yeah.
in any normal situation, you would have people from the country that were the judges,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
But the tensions were so high, and the
Yes.
hatred between the groups was so huge. The only way you could ensure impartiality was a international majority on the
Yes,
court, which
yes,
was
yeah.
2 to 1.
And the same with the local lawyers and the international lawyers,
Yeah.
in terms of the international lawyers having the final sign off on what we effectively wrote the judgment, which was either affirmed or
Absolutely.
denied or asked for changes by the judges on the commissioners as
Yeah.
part of the tribunal. So, anyway, this is probably educational for the audience who are watching here. But
Hope so. So what we need now, audience, we need a global restitution authority, under the auspices of the UN or some other international agency that can adjudicate all the millions of outstanding restitution claims that continue to exist in the world
And they do
today.
with,
and there are millions
yeah,
and
there's-
millions of people who are longing to get their houses
Well, there's
back.
heaps of conflicts, unfortunately, that continue to this day.
It's going to be a huge
and
issue
so-
in Ukraine, of course. It's always
Yep.
an issue
Yep.
in Palestine. It's a huge issue still outstanding in Sri Lanka,
Yep.
in Cyprus,
In the Congo,
DRC,
yeah,
the list
everywhere.
goes on
Exactly,
and on
exactly,
and on.
so.
And we need to find a way to structurally address that issue.
Yes,
Because you
yes.
never really have peace until people are satisfied with regard to their housing, land, and property rights
Yeah,
after
that's right,
conflict.
that's right.
It just
So-
lingers on. People
Yeah,
are resentful.
Yeah. And regardless of
Yeah.
what happens in the conflict, you need to be able to restore the property rights
Yeah,
of people who
that's
genuinely own the property, irrespective of which side they were in a conflict.
And
So-
not forget about the little guy either.
That's right,
Not
that's
forget
right.
about the squatters and the tenants
Yep.
and the
Innocent
people that
third
were
parties.
just living with the other people.
Yep.
Not only put your attention on the property owners per se, but
Yep.
all housing tenure groups.
Yes, yes.
Then you can have justice.
Exactly. Well,
Right
I'll
on,
continue my
okay.
work. But
All
thanks very
right.
much, Scott.
Good
Hopefully,
luck.
to everyone,
What a
that was very
surprise.
educational.
What a surprise.
Coincidence, but maybe
That's hilarious.
it's meant to be.
Oh, I was going to tell you, actually, I was going to send you a message. I just haven't gotten around to it because I've been so busy. But we just started you know how I've talked to you about world citizenship and stuff before? We just started a YouTube channel
Okay.
that is dedicated exclusively to that.
Okay.
So just like 2 weeks ago, we already got, 30 or 40,000 views and done 25 to 28 videos. Got
Well,
about 50 to go.
hopefully we are all, I guess, irrespective of our citizenship, we all consider ourselves as global citizens anyway, and what
hope.
happens here, it impacts elsewhere and vice versa.
That's
yeah.
what I was actually doing, right?
Yeah.
At the point of that pier, when you came out there, I was
Yes.
doing a little recording.
Oh, really?
about-
Okay.
Yeah, because everybody's asking, it's so unrealistic to have this idea of world citizenship. It's a nice idea, but it'll never work. And I just said, well, what does world citizenship mean to me right this minute, And then I just talked about how I view the world, and I was pointing the camera in different directions, going, look, there's a nice Indian family having a great time, there's a great Chinese family, there's probably a bunch of Turkish and Greek guys out on the pier fishing, and guess what? We all get along just fine. And that multicultural, cosmopolitan society in which we live strengthens it for everybody, And we all live it. And that's in a nutshell really what it is. It's nothing
Yes.
overly dramatic,
I should mention what SPK Kiosk and Bar is a great place to get a coffee and food here if you are down here. So
Yes, indeed.
Snapper Point Kiosk, that's short for. But Snapper Point's the original name of Mornington until I think 1861,
That's
when
right, that's
Mornington was gazetted as the official name of Mornington from that point onwards, which is why this area is called Snapper Point.
Those tall building place over there in the distance. You know what the original name of that is?
Of Narm. Narm. Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah.
in between Narm and Melbourne.
Oh, Batmania.
Yes.
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 Which has got a Gotham City like,
I was
isn't it?
about
Before
to-
Batman.
The greatest discovery I've
yes.
ever made when I moved here was that it was literally called Batmania. I couldn't believe it. But look, it looks like it's sinking now. It's got the sinking look today.
Now I should mention here, I should got to mention fishermen's.
Are you walking around with a gang or just?
No, I've lost my family. They are ahead of me, but
What were you going to mention?
I was going to mention people watching here. So I've been advocating for the Fisherman's Pier to be re-established and rebuilt, and that has actually commenced now. So the construction has now commenced, which is great. We've been pushing hard for this to be fixed. So this will be hopefully done. Well, a little bit to go, as you can see, but hopefully done soon and fix it up from what it was before. Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I only just noticed that now.
Yeah.
So what happened? Did it just fall into disrepair?
Oh, yeah, it had fallen into.
Ah.
I guess had it been maintained a bit more, it might have avoided having to redo the whole lot. But yeah, as you know, if you don't do the maintenance,
No,
then,
and that's
yeah.
going to be like a pier like this one?
It's a smaller pier. Yeah,
Just for boats,
it's just
to dock.
it's basically a replacement of the pier that was there before.
Oh, right, okay.
So
That's cool.
fishermen boats and others who
Right.
want to use it. Yeah.
So I was thinking about you on election night.
Oh,
my
okay.
friend.
Oh, the federal election. Yeah. Well, I guess I wasn't up for
Must have
election.
been hard. That must
wasn't
have been
too
hard for you.
wasn't too hard for me because I'm state, but
I know, but
but
still.
yeah, obviously
it must have been.
we
still
helped
hard to get-
Zoe locally to get across the line, and
Yeah, that was a
unfortunately
squeak-
Nathan
that
didn't
was
get
a
up,
squeaker,
but
right?
yeah, it was close, but
really
yeah, it's
close.
unfortunately it didn't get up federally, so. I don't know where my family's
you
gone.
think?
We might
What's
have lost everyone.
What's your
This is Mornington Pier though, so.
what's your prognosis for election 2028 for your party?
Oh, the federal. Oh,
Yeah.
not the state election in a year and a half.
Right.
well,
right. I'm talking federal.
Got to go through that
federal
first.
now. You're a shoo-in, man.
It's harder to. Well, I don't think I don't think you can always presume
I
you're
know.
shooing. You got to.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, even if it looks likely, you got to.
Still gotta fight it. You gotta.
Well, and the Liberals in Victoria have only won one election in 30 years by the time we get to 2026.
I
so
saw a story in the
we need
newspaper.
we need to ensure stability and.
And you
No,
got to
we're-
get some younger members. I just saw in the paper the
Younger than me,
average,
yeah.
the average age was 68
Most membership
of the Victorian Liberal Party.
Yeah, well, maybe not the MPs though, but
Not the
but
MPs, clearly.
Yeah, but yeah, we need to ensure
But there's a
stability and
renewal period that probably needs to come, I would guess, as an independent observer.
yeah, we need to show, I guess, show ourselves as an alternative government and ensure stability on our own side over the next 1 year and
because right now
5 months. So
I'm speaking totally as I am not giving away my political affiliation.
yeah,
But if I was an advisor, and I am very, very deeply politically involved, it looks very difficult for the Liberal Party in 2028 nationally, federally.
well, you'd hope
Already you can
six
see
years
that.
in, it's potentially. Well, Susan Lee, I used to work with her. She was very capable and perhaps underestimated. So I think.
Yeah, that's true, but the recent breakup and then the reunion, well, maybe the people will forget about that, but I just think the majority is so huge that based on
Yeah, but I
history in
think,
other countries of similar systems,
it's hard to beat a one-term government, which is
very
it
hard.
was. But if
Very
you look at
hard.
2013, that was after 6 years. There was
That's
a
true.
landslide in our favour. If it's a similar,
That's true.
potentially, as long
Probably
as we
just
contrast ourselves
just
well.
depends on the economics of the situation, right?
Anyway, my family are not here, so I've got to go find them elsewhere.
They just
so.
caught a fish.
Oh, there we go. Caught a fish. I probably better. Are you
I'll
going back that way?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I
Okay.
gotta get back in my car and pick up the old. That's great. How often do you do these little live feeds?
This is the first time I've ever done this, a live stream. I've done like little live streams before, but
All right. Oh, that's cool.
this is the first time with actual this Osmo action
I
thing.
wonder how many. Do you know? Can you already see how many people are watching, or just look at that later?
I might be able to see it if I look at the Facebook page. Probably not many at the moment, but
Yeah, they
people
gotta-
might come in and out throughout the
gotta-
day and they can
gotta
donate.
know
So.
that it's happening. I guess. Once you do it a few times, you have to start doing some outlandish things.
There's only about 2 people watching now, but 3 people watching. But
Well,
at different parts there'll be more and some people less. So.
just wait until next time when Chris does some truly amazing antics. It'll make TikTok look like child's play. Just run in the water and jump in. Or just
So my wife is at the viewing area, so it's probably why I couldn't
What's
find
the
her.
viewing? Oh, up top.
Yeah, up here.
There they are.
Yep.
Is that them? Yeah.
Yep,
Is that your whole family there that was with you?
it was.
Yeah, okay, right. That's great. So yeah, when the elections in Victoria are at the end of the year, right? Aren't they?
No, end of next year.
Oh, it's next year.
The last Saturday in November,
Oh, so
2026.
you have ages to go.
Well, not really long. It's only a year and
And you got to start campaigning.
less than a year and 6
Yeah.
months. Well, in a way, the campaign is what you do throughout the whole time you were working. It's not just at the
True.
election time. It's about doing a good job for people who approach you with all sorts of issues
True,
and helping
totally.
them. Whether you can resolve it or not,
Is that
people
your
appreciate
daughter
it if you can help them.
waving at you, maybe?
It is my daughter.
Yes, okay.
Sorry, fall. Anyway,
Well, I did a very praiseworthy video on my YouTube channel. I did several about the Australian election system.
oh, okay,
Just
okay.
to
I'll have to watch.
explain it to people.
Oh, just now?
Yeah, I got like 20,000
20,000 views. Oh, okay.
on the one
Wow.
about the election, you know.
Okay.
It was just describing the system because
Yeah.
most people don't know.
No,
I mean,
no.
mandatory voting is a great thing, you know. And Preferentials.
Preferential is.
It's great. You can
There
go
are issues with preferential. I support optional preferential voting, but
Oh, I like it. What do you like?
which is
do you
most
like-
democratic, because
It is most
the
democratic.
issue is people don't necessarily understand the compulsory preferential voting system and where their vote goes when they do follow the how to vote card of a particular party. So they might say, well, I don't want to vote. I get people that are saying I don't want to vote for Labor, but then they might pick up the Greens or Animal Justice or another party how to vote card, which goes
Or
straight
a
back to
worse
Labor,
one.
but they don't know that necessarily.
Yeah.
Which is where optional preferential voting, I think, is the best system, because it's the most democratic. You can vote number 1, you can number 1 to 8. Your vote won't be informal if you just vote 1. So many people miss out on their vote because they just put 1. So
I was really going
in
through the
between options.
stats the other day, and I saw 6%
yes,
of all ballots were informal.
Oh, 6% was it?
Informal
Okay.
or what is
Yeah.
it, donkey?
donkey, yeah, one to.
So that's quite a few.
Yeah,
Like, that's
exactly,
that's a
exactly.
make or break thing for a lot
Yes.
of candidates.
It is.
But what do you think about mandatory voting?
I'm more in
Compulsory
favour.
voting.
I'm more in favour of it because
Oh, yeah, me too,
I
all
think
the way.
if you look at, there are problems if people aren't. I guess it requires education of the system, but I think it means that you can't go too far to the extreme left or extreme right. Whereas
Right.
in voluntary voting system, you have to get out the vote, and it tends to be more organised groups on the left, more organised groups on the right, and which means that politicians then
You can go
pitch
that way.
themselves to
100%.
the more extremes. Whereas if you govern, you can't really govern too far from the centre right or centre left in Australia. Otherwise,
Creates a kind of
yeah.
informal bumper system, like in bowling.
yeah.
for kids,
So
you know,
I'm
you
more in
automatically
favour,
go to the
but
center.
I think there should be an option of optional preferential voting and you should be able to. We better get out of those parking spots.
Right in.
You should be able to option of none of the above as well on the ballot paper, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, you
I
can
better
always- you
catch
can
my
always do
family.
that. You can
I'm
always-
behind schedule.
Okay. Great to see you,
But yeah,
Chris.
good to see you, mate.
All the best.
Thanks, mate. All right, that was a interesting chat, everyone. Get to learn a bit about international law there with one of the global experts in international law who happens to live in the electorate. Okay. Hello, beautiful. Hello. You're all going to have a little bit of a rest. Hello. This is Matthew Flinders, who navigated through here. And obviously the electorate is called Flinders at the federal level as well. So, thank you. I might get one. I'll eat it as I walk. Well, I just had a great chat about Kosovo and international law with the guy who established the organisation I used to work for in Kosovo.
Right.
Lives in Mount Martha. No, I know. He moved here, and coincidence. Oops. Oops, daisy. That's not.
That's a great contact.
Yeah.
One could only imagine there's going to be some.
We just saw a Spitfire go over.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
We better keep.
But even though
Go in.
the camera's really good, you can zoom on that guy over there. It's not really good in the
Do you mind trying to press that button again? Sorry, Grace.
I got one time they're doing a
Sorry?
The flash button.
Yep, the flash button.
They're winching the guy.
Press it hard.
From the,
It's not working.
and pulling the
I don't know why
winch
it's not
down.
working because I'm
That
running out
was
of batteries.
exciting 'cause I've never seen an actual
It was working the whole
I
time.
did press it.
How much does it charge? Does it say when the light will come up?
It's not even. Oh, it says 188.
No. Just try press it again.
So I've got nearly 6 months left.
Hold it in. Hold it down.
I probably wouldn't do a contract on a
Holding
plan
it.
again. It's the most
Take it out.
expensive way to buy a phone.
It's not working.
Switched it off.
I just have to. Oh, did it?
Switched it off.
Oh, no. Try to do it again. Try to get it back on again.
The phone won't ever cost me 2,000.
Weird. I'm just going to have to try and survive the rest of the day.
That says too much.
Now, also, is that light there on the camera still? That it said the recording. It says red. Is it red? on
The
top
screen's
left?
black. Oh, the screen. No, the light on the top.
No, in the image.
There's nothing on the image.
Really?
What's the app where you can put two photos together to compare colour?
Oh, it's working.
That's alright. You got a phone. Oh, you got it with the phone. That's amazing. This is wearing ASICs as well.
It's an ASIC.
Oh, you got clocked on you, dear Harry. Looking wicked.
All right, we better get going because we're quite behind schedule now. So,
This needs to cover up. He's showing his butt.
all right, we better
Can be
get going.
embarrassing.
I don't think we can go through there. So,
Can't you cut through down here?
Yeah, you go down. You go down.
We might be able to go through this way. So. Just going to have a look over here. We'll have a bit of a view here. That's the view from here, everyone. We might have to reconnect over here.
When I go off the pier there, right, and this side of the pier is so high,
Yeah.
and when you go in the water from the other side where the boats usually are when they're usually out, it's like pressurized. So when you go like that, it pops. It does.
Yes.
You only usually get that in an aeroplane.
Okay. Okay.
So I think Mornington Harbour is the only place you actually get that.
You reckon?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've never seen it anywhere else.
Hey mate, we haven't made it very far. What's that?
Found you again on the live stream.
Yeah. We haven't made it very far. So I'm hoping to reconnect with the coastline, Grace, because here. Yep, we can reconnect here. So if you wanted to leave here, and up to you.
Yeah.
If you want, see you kids. Unless you want to walk with me for a bit.
No.
Okay, I love you. Love you, Eddie.
Why do you call me Harry?
Oh, sorry.
Oh. Remember, you used to want to be called Harry, remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why. All right, we're reconnecting with the coastline now. We were cut off here from this closure.
I don't know why they. The boards would have been rusted.
Might be a bit of erosion there.
I don't even look. One day they called the whole footpath just because there's one railing missing. I'm just like. Oh, Josie's coming.
Hello, Yazzie. Are you going to join for a little bit? Okay. You want to join for a little bit? Okay. Hello. She wants to join me. There you go, beautiful. Are you okay? Now, ooh, are you going to go back to mummy or?
Watching?
Yep. We're on live stream. As long as it's still working. There we go. This is a pretty easy path for you, isn't
What
it?
if it runs out of batteries?
Well, at the moment my battery pack has stopped working. I'm still on 90% because it was charging all morning, but hopefully I'll last 4 more hours because it's using a lot of battery power. There's a bit of a balancing beam here for you, Yazzie.
Where?
Yeah, balancing beam. Do you want me to hold your hand? Are you sure? You can warm my hand up anyway.
How are you going to get past over there?
Oh, we'll just have to walk on the rocks.
Well, you have to go on here to get across.
I am. I have to balance. Now, question is,
This way, I think.
Yeah, go that way. And then see if you can follow there. You're going to be right walking in those Crocs?
I'm on the path.
Ah, you keep going on the path and I'll get up there. Okay?
I'm going to go in here.
Yeah, I'm going to go up here with you.
No, I'm not going to go there.
No? Bit of a safer way, I think. If it continues, that is. It may not continue.
Then
I know it does. It does.
it looks too spicy for me. I'm going to
Okay. You choose. Oh, he's going the tough way, Chris. The family's headed off, have they?
Yeah, over to Point Cook Way.
Oh, okay.
How many Ks have you done so far?
Must be up to at least 12. 12.8.
A little over halfway.
Yep. Should be 9 to go, but it could actually be longer than I expected as well. I looked at all the coastal management PDS from the Shire, which actually say how long the coastline is for each part in Mount Eliza, Mornington and Mount Martha, and it adds up to about 21. So, but it could be slightly longer depending on where we walk.
This bit has a lot of seaweed.
Ah, is it difficult?
Well, not that much.
We're lucky we've got the spider up.
See the cliff face there again?
Now we're going to take longer.
So this is Royal Beach, and then next is Fisherman's Beach. We're running a little bit behind schedule, but hopefully we will catch up on our schedule a little bit as we go.
There's a lot and a lot of seaweed.
Do you like seaweed, Yas?
And shells.
Oh. Still going good? Ah. Crocs are probably not the best to be walking on rocks with, I reckon. But better than nothing. We're at the beach again. And this is Royal Beach, right under where the Royal Hotel is, up there. Which is why I presume it was called Royal Beach, but you...
At least I'm not wearing goggles.
Yes. Hey mate, you been waiting for us?
I saw the
claiming the Liberal membership 68
Oh,
average. So I
good to
thought,
see you,
"Ah,
Ben.
let's get down
Yeah,
here."
good to see
Yeah,
you.
good to see you.
We're running a little bit behind schedule, so sorry.
Let's go.
We were ahead of schedule before we got to Mornington Park, and then we got some coffees and we got a bit delayed.
No, good. Hey, Chris.
It's Chris,
Yeah, good, thanks.
my daughter Yasmin, and this is Victor, and James. James has been with me since 7:30 in the morning.